So our design process, it starts with research and researching both form and function. So looking at all of the different aesthetics as well as trends, as well as client briefs to figure out the general aesthetic that we're actually trying to achieve for the product that we're creating. But there's also another layer of research that is very much focused on the way the human body moves, as well as manufacturing techniques that are actually available to us. Because we need to blend both the aesthetic side of a design process with how is it made and how does it actually move on the body. Then we move on to sourcing. What's the right material? What's the right zipper? And then we look for fabrics from vendors that we've worked with in the past that have a selection of materials that fit within the brief of what we're actually starting with. Where if we're looking for a high durability material, we might be pulling from challenge sailcloth. This gives us a ultra high molecular weight polyethylene face with an inlaid grid, and we're able to select the weight. And this would be more specific to an outdoor bag where durability is right at the forefront of what we're looking for. From there, we're moving into the sketching process, where we're sketching as many possibilities as possible. And then from there, we then whittle down the constructions that we like, the shapes that we like, and then we kind of Frankenstein it together to be able to build out an overall design that we're happy with, that is ticking a lot of the boxes. But the main point of it is to cast a wide net, do a ton of different sketches, and then pull the best elements from that entire process. After that, what we'll move into is some of the patterning. And I'll generally just do something really rough, really crude, as you can see, with lines drawn over top, so I can start testing placement and shapes. And what this allows me to do is create a mock-up. And we just tape together the paper, and we're starting to get a rough idea of dimensionals. Usually I just do half, so that I can tape it together, get the shape, get an idea of where we're at, and then start drawing all of the key components of the bag onto the actual shape. This then gives me a rough pattern to then bring into a tech pack, and also get a really good idea of, if we have this shape, how does it interface with your back panel? How do the straps then wrap around your shoulders? And you can start really narrowing down the shapes as well as the angles that make the most sense to fit on the body, as well as achieve the shape that you're looking for. From there, we're moving right into tech packing. So I'm hopping on the computer and building a larger document that has all of these different views to map out materials, key constructions, and details that we'll need to communicate really clearly to the sample room in order to be able to get a first sample that's looking really clean. From there, we're doing our tech pack handoff, and then we can work with our sample room to create mock-ups on the machines that they have access to, whether that's ultrasonic welding, whether that's seam taping, whether we're molding panels that require a little bit more development. We're able to work from afar to get those pieces put together and then have a physical sample built for us. From there, we're giving ourselves a little bit of a window, and this allows us to wear test the bag, get it on a few different people's backs, and really get a good feel for how the bag actually performs in the real world. Because you can do as many shapes, patterns, and sketches as you want to, but if you don't have an overall bag that just feels good, then you're not going to get it to where it needs to be. And from there, we're iterating. We're reviewing a concept, we're testing the concept, we're compiling all of our notes, and then we redo the tech pack. And then we create all of our updates, and then after that, we hand that off to the factory. And we usually do 2 or 3 samples, and this gets us to the point where we're ready to sign off on the product. We've tested our materials, we've tested our trims, we've tested our design. Now we're ready to move to mass manufacturing. And since we've done this process directly with the sample room, we have no problem just handing this off and then just essentially telling them, this is how many units we want, this is the date we want it by, and going from there.